In the shadowy heart of Florida's highways lurked a figure of tragedy and horror, Aileen Wuornos, a woman shaped by an upbringing steeped in abuse and neglect. Born on February 29, 1956, she entered a world fraught with difficulties from the very beginning. Her mother, a mere child herself, abandoned Aileen and her siblings, leaving them in the destructive hands of alcoholic grandparents who would soon become the catalysts of her anguish. Wuornos's childhood was a tapestry woven with threads of sexual abuse, violence, and fear, painting a portrait of a girl whose innocence was snuffed out before it could truly begin. As Wuornos transitioned into adulthood, her life spiraled further into darkness. With dreams shattered under the weight of her past, she turned to sex work as a means of survival. The highways beckoned as she traded her body for food, repeatedly confronting the harsh realities of a world that often saw her as expendable. Each encounter carried with it the potential for danger, and in a desperate bid for self-preservation, Wuornos began to arm herself with a loaded gun. Her tragic existence culminated in a series of brutal murders, leaving behind a trail of grief and confusion. The victims of Wuornos were men who approached her with intentions both benign and sinister. She shot her first victim, Richard Mallory, on November 30, 1989, a brutal act marking the beginning of her notorious reputation. Over the next year, 5 more lives were extinguished, each body discarded like refuse along the desolate roadside. Aileen maintained that her actions were born from self-defense, a chilling mantra that echoed through the courtrooms as she faced justice. But the harsh truth of her choices only deepened the tragedy of her life. Arrested in January 1991, Wuornos was subjected to an unrelenting spotlight that offered no solace for her tortured soul. Convicted of murder, she spent nearly a decade on death row, where she was ultimately executed on October 9, 2002, a tragic end to a life riddled with hardship. Much more than a tale of a serial killer, the story of Aileen Wuornos serves as a haunting reminder of how a cycle of abuse can manifest into darkness, leaving behind a complex narrative that is both terrifying and heartbreakingly human.